I decided on the morning of December 17th that I was going to go to Miami to attend the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight in person. I've been going back and forth about it. Number one, I'm a fan of Anthony Joshua. I know somewhat about Jake Paul, but based on my knowledge of the two, I just felt it was a tremendous mismatch. Anthony Joshua, he's my favorite fighter of this current generation. Not perfect, some flaws and whatnot, things to work on, but Jake Paul, nowhere near that level. I felt that there was a chance that as the date got closer, there would be some kind of shenanigans or some kind of story, and the fight would be canceled. Or the fight would take place, and because of the disparity in capabilities, that it wouldn't be a particularly good fight. I like to travel, but Miami, I'm not a club person. I don't really drink like that. It's not a place that I would think of for vacation. But I previously attended two of Anthony Joshua's fights, the second of which was the Daniel Dubois fight, which happened to take place on my birthday in 2024. And I had a really great time with that fight. It was my first time on an international solo trip. It was a little bit nervous going, but once I got there, I had an amazing time. It was a great experience. I was really apprehensive because I felt like on the one side, it could turn out to be a great trip. And I also had the goal that, Anthony Joshua is most likely at this point going to be retiring within the next year or two. And I had this goal of I'd had a great time at his fights. They were a great experience, and I wanted to attend, if possible, the rest of his fights until he retires. So I was like, this is kind of in keeping with that. But at the same time, this is really the kind of fight I was looking forward to, or the kind of fight I was thinking about. Usually I like to get like floor seats, not ringside, but floor seats. But I really wasn't willing to pay that much for the tickets to this fight. Like my limit was $100 and something. What kind of helped to tip the scales was that in the days leading up to it, I'd gone on to ChatGPT and I just entered a prompt for it to tell me some things that I might enjoy doing, like a budget vacation for 3 or 4 days in Miami for someone who doesn't like clubs and who doesn't really drink, like who isn't really looking for the party scene, is more looking for like museums and cultural experiences. I like history, I like art. It actually gave me some pretty good suggestions. And so with that, I was like, you know what, I could probably turn this into a pretty good vacation. Got up that morning and I was like, you know what, let's just go. So I bought my tickets and I had roughly about 2.5 hours to just throw some stuff in a bag, get myself together, showered, all of that and whatnot, dressed, and be out the door on the way to the airport. Parking is now much more expensive. But I happened to do a quick Google search. It's like the stars were aligning for things to work out, and found that you can actually get really cheap parking. You just have to be a little bit creative about it. I was trying to say well, what are my other options? And it turns out that College Park Station is just one stop away from the airport. I decided, well, you know what? They have long-term parking there. I just drove to the train station, parked in the surface lot, and hopped on the train. It took about 3 minutes. I forgot to get a ticket and whatnot for my car, or to pay for the parking, to get the parking ticket. When I got to the station, I explained to one of the employees, and they were like, oh, don't worry. As long as you park in the surface lot, it's actually free. If you park in the actual garage, the covered garage, that's where you have a charge. And I think even that, it's just $8 a day. Headed into the airport, got through security very quickly. I did take my drone with me, didn't realize that I needed to take that out of my suitcase. And now I have this thing, don't know where the habit came from, but I never drink Starbucks. But whenever I go to the airport now, I feel like I have to get a Starbucks. I could be in another terminal. I'm going to go find my gate and I'm going to Starbucks. I'm going to get a chai tea latte. It's like my drink of choice now. I don't know what's happened. But anyway, I ran, got my chai tea latte, used the app on my phone to get it, got there, and it was I was sweating bullets because it was kind of coming down to the wire for boarding. And it felt like an eternity. It was probably just a few minutes. But I got my breakfast sandwich, I got my chai tea latte, so I've now got these two hot things in my hand. I've got my backpack, I've got my carry-on suitcase, and I'm booking it through the airport terminal, trying to get back to my gate. I got there and I panicked for a moment because I saw no one. just the gate agents. Door was open. I was like, oh my God, like, did I miss the flight? Is it too late? So I ran up to the gate agents. I'm all stressed and whatnot. Like, oh my God, like, I've missed my flight. Like, I missed the boarding and whatnot. Everyone's on the plane. And like, the guy turned around and he was like, calm down. We haven't even started boarding. Turns out that there was a delay in the plane coming into the airport. So while our boarding time was technically like done and we should have been taken off, the flight that had landed, they hadn't finished deplaning as yet. So I was just right on time. And they had like a very quick turnaround. We then boarded the plane. The overhead bins could really only fit like very small carry-on items. As a result, unfortunately, I had to gate check my bag. So while I had this plan for, okay, I'm going to land in Miami, I've got my carry-on, I'm traveling light this time around. Usually when I travel, it's like a different pair of Jordans for each day, a pair of shoes for the fight and stuff, flats because safety. But this time I was like, you know what, I'm packing light. I'm just going to take the one pair of sneakers. I'm going to make sure it matches all of my outfits and just the one pair of shoes. Everything is fitting in the carry-on. My electronics, my camera gear, and all of that is going to fit in my backpack. Didn't go according to plan. Did not. Fortunately, no issues on the flight. The Wi-Fi was pretty terrible. Got into Miami pretty quickly.
Here in Miami, made it. Hoping for a great trip. Heading to baggage claim. I was really trying not to, but didn't work out this time.
It was a trek, as I thought it would be, to get to baggage claim. Like, the airport is pretty big. It's like you had to go up an escalator, down an escalator. I think you took like a shuttle train. Then you got off at baggage claim. You had to go like down another escalator, out some doors. Then it's like you get there and it's like the baggage carousels are there, but they're like, carousel 2021 or whatever. Meanwhile, my stuff is on carousel, I think it was like 8 or 9, some number like that. So it's like I've got all this stuff and I've got to trek all the way over to this other baggage claim, get my stuff from there, the bags, but it's like it felt like it took forever. By the time I got there, the bags still weren't off the plane on the conveyor belt thing. So I'm standing there waiting, get my stuff. Now gotta head back over to this other side of the area, get on the elevator, take it upstairs.
Got my bag. Now headed to pick up my rental car. So I was really trying to get out of here quickly, but I ended up having to check my bag. But still not the end of the world.
So the rental place, get up there, and I'm like, finally, I'm gonna be able to get my rental car and get out of here. Not so fast.
The rental car place that I've gone with, they're like a little bit away from the airport.
So I had to go outside, keeping in mind, sweater, jeans, because it was cold in Atlanta, coat, which I'd taken off and wrapped around my bags. Had to get outside, get on this shuttle bus that had just left. So I'm now standing there baking in the Miami sun, waiting for the shuttle bus to come to take me to this off-site rental place. We get there, and it was like one person working, so very slow. He's like running out to check on the cars, coming in, dealing with the paperwork. It just felt like it took forever. And I was just there, just melting in this seemingly non-air conditioned room.
One eternity later.
And fortunately, after waiting, maybe it was probably a good like 20-30 minutes or something like that, another employee came in and she was able to help me pretty quickly, got my rental car, put my stuff in the trunk, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna change out of like my Atlanta clothes, the sweater and the long jeans, into my Miami clothes. So some shorts, t-shirt, get in the car, I'm changing my clothes in there. And I happen to look up and like my eyes meet the like rental car maintenance man's eyes. And the look of judgment, like I just like lowered my head and just continued changing because like the guy was looking at me like, what are you doing in the car? And it's like, I'm not in here playing with myself. I'm just like changing my clothes. So our eyes met and I was like, you know what? Let me just hurry up. I grabbed my sweater and my jeans, just ran around to the trunk of the car, threw the stuff in, hopped in, and I just drove out of there because I didn't need the judgment. And from there, I was now in Miami, music pumping, AC blasting, headed to Walmart to get some snacks. Why? Because when I travel, I've learned that I do not have patience in the morning. None. When I get up, a lot of times I'm like on the go when I'm at home. When I'm on vacation, I kind of want to have a somewhat slower morning. I like to be able to take my time. I try to be out of the hotel by 10. But I feel like if I leave the hotel at 10 to then have to go find somewhere to get breakfast, I'm not, getting going until a good 11:30. But if I get like just some simple breakfast stuff and keep it in the hotel room, I can kind of relax a little bit more. I can have a slower morning, and kind of ease my way into the day, but still get my day started relatively early. So with that, whenever I travel, stopped by Walmart, grabbed up a few things, some fruit, some bananas, some oatmeal, some water, and some tea. And so with that, I feel like I have the makings of a really good breakfast, as well as if I get back in the evening, I would have eaten dinner, but I get back in the evening and I want a little snack or something like that, I have some fruit in the fridge. So I felt like I was now well prepared for this vacation. Hopped in the car, drove over the bridge from Miami proper, downtown Miami, to Miami Beach. Nice drive. We had like the palm trees and all this kind of stuff. It was a nice vibe. Music pumping, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of reggae, just driving. And it was like, I feel like I'm officially on vacation now. I'm feeling great. I'm relaxed and whatnot. Everything hasn't worked out according to plans, but we're here, we're doing well. I had accounted for it that the press conference doesn't start until doors don't open until 5:30. My plane is gonna land like around 1. Hopefully I could be out of the airport by like 1:30 and on my way. I'd have a few hours to stop by Walmart to get some lunch, to get over to the hotel and drop my bags off and whatnot, and it'd be smooth sailing. So I got held up by the airport, which then meant that I got to the hotel a little bit late, which wasn't the end of the world because the hotel check-in didn't start until 4 p.m. And, as long as I have smooth sailing checking in, I can still get something to eat, and then I'll head on over to the press conference. Fortunately, got to the hotel, had some issues there. More on that later. But let's get into the most important thing, the press conference.
Thanks for tuning in. To ensure you don't miss any episodes, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, go ahead and click that thumbs up button if you